digging in, I found that everyone in our district, from the superintendent down, is working as hard as they can to do everything they can for our kids. And really getting to know the processes in the district and the work. I am wholeheartedly behind this, and having learned more, it sounds really esoteric to look at that Measure 5 in 1990, Measure 50 in 1997, but in the last 10 years, we are now living with a reality that those policy decisions at the state level have like Mary Lou said, put Parkrose in a box. So I truly believe that the problem of sort of no PE or no this or no that is really due to the amount of resources we receive from the state. So since those things went into effect, the state created something called the Quality Education Model, the QEM, which lays out a budget amount of how much the state needs to fund public schools in Oregon for every Oregon student to have a quality education. And the state legislature has funded it exactly 0 times. Every year they write a report on as to why they don't fund it. And they don't just not fund it a little bit, they fund it like $2 billion less, right? 20% less, things like that. So I work as hard as I can to email, meet with, go to town halls with legislators. I would invite you, I would invite anybody to come with me and say, our students deserve more, our students need more. We don't have this, we don't have this, we don't have this. The things that we all remember from our public school education, and we don't have them because the state does not adequately fund public school districts. And a couple of the things that Mary Lou wrote up there and are in here, those are the reasons why. And I would be happy to share more of what I've learned in sort of being a parent advocate and a school board advocate in dealing with our state representation, our state senators and state representatives, and really telling that story, right? I go to town halls a lot, and I'll be the only Parkrose person or the only person speaking on schools, and I would just love to see, I'd love to see 50 of us in there saying, this is ridiculous, we need more. Michael Lopes-Sahau, our incoming superintendent, shared with us on Wednesday that the students graduating from Parkrose High School this year will have missed 30 days of their school education career due to budget cuts, which is ridiculous, and it needs to end. So please, I would invite you, anyone that signed the petition, anyone here, let's go be a loud voice. Let's be a big voice in the room and get the resources that our students need.
Jake, anything?
I'd like to give you just a brief little backstory that hasn't been brought up, that the Board of Education, we set goals, and then superintendent and the administrators put those goals into action. So, and that usually happens, it happens every year in August. We sit down and we develop goals for the school year. We haven't developed goals for structured PE. We haven't put those in place. I'm willing to entertain that. I'd love to have us put that as a goal, that we have K through 5 PE structure time. I'm not sure what that would look like as far as staffing it, but at least it would be our goal. Then we take, the administration would take it on, and we'd have action. So that's, and I signed the petition as well, Eric signed it, Mr. Flores, Board Member Flores. So I'm not sure where he's at on the golding part of it, but it's very important.
Well, and this is
Something the board would develop
This
together
is,
as a
yeah,
whole.
this is August discussion, not here discussion.
becomes a
So,
board.
your
Yeah.
turn.
So I'm a parent of four children in the district, and when I came onto the board, I also wasn't aware of the goings on, what's going on with the budget, why some things were offered and other things were. And I understand that physical education is very important, and that's, when I saw that some of those opportunities were not available to my kids, I looked to the community and looked at the resources to get that physical activity. But it's very important, and like Sarah said, it's very important that we advocate. Been able to have people in the legislature come here, and we're able to talk to them face to face and say, this is the reality of what we're dealing with. What I found is that they're either they're ignorant to it, they're not aware of it, or they feel like maybe it's something that we're not managing what they're giving us. And they're really just not giving us enough. And it's really important as a parent, and it's one of the reasons around on the board, is someone who has the perspective of, yes, it's important. At that age, in elementary, we need to have physical activity. It's very important. The obesity rates of children right now, it's just not acceptable. And it was a concern I had. I had, two girls when I moved into the district that were obese, and they're fit, but they've had to invest outside of school to get them involved in sports. It's very important. So, and again, like Sarah said, I would love to have parents like you, we go in there together and we advocate for our kids, and I think it's really important to do that.
And you're already in Salem.
I was gonna say.
And I hope
We will come meet
I
you.
only sleep there.
We will come meet you.
There's a student success committee hearings that are being held throughout the state of Oregon this summer and fall. Barbara Smith Warner and
Barney Rowland.
are conducting these. The one that comes closest to Parkrose, and they're asking you to send them your email address, your first name, last name, and RSVP. The one that, April 24th is Baker, April 25th is Hermanston, April 9th is Clackamas May 9th is Clackamas High
That's a good
School.
one.
That's a doable one. May 24th is Woodburn High School, that's a doable one. June 5th is Medford. July is Beaverton, that's also doable. September 13th is Ridgeview High School, Redmond, Oregon. And on September 27th,
It's at Madison.
it's at Madison.
Yep. It was gonna
And-
be Parkrose, but they moved it to Madison.
And that is where all the 300 and some people that signed your petition
They should show up.
need to be.
They should show up. Yes.
Obviously,
Excellent.
I don't always agree. I think, I've been, as Sarah says, we've been going to talk to the legislators for so many years, and things have not changed. And I'm not sure if they will change. What I perceive more is that if we look at ourselves and we do something here, like Beaverton is doing,
We're not.
and look at the ideas
We're not.
that,
Eric, we've
Oh.
talked about going out
Alright.
for an option.
so I haven't interrupted anybody.
Sorry,
at this
sorry,
point.
it's just Beaverton
Yes,
was like,
thank
oh
you,
my gosh.
thank you so much.
I apologize.
Yes, well, I respect you guys'
Keep
time.
going.
Yes, keep
Keep
going.
going.
Thank you,
Keep going.
thank you. So I believe that, there are 330 parents here who pay taxes here. They should at least consider the idea of acting on ourselves. We have several ways of doing this. There are districts around us, they have the same challenges as we do, yet they manage to provide PE and others. And my experience has been talking to so many legislators, we have had it here many times. It always comes the same next year, 2 years from now. So sometimes, it's not that I don't trust the state in giving us what we need, but I definitely believe that we can pull ourselves easier than having someone else try to come and help us. Beaverton, as I was saying, they're going for a levy of 300 teachers. And it looks like it's gonna be successful, so when they hire 300 teachers, they lower class sizes for everybody, because there are more teachers. It is my belief, I may be wrong, but I think we can probably go for maybe 5 or 10 that would help our district. But I would love to see certain kind of committee within those 300 people to stay constant and come and bother us here. Not send them down to Salem, which takes like 5 hours to get there just on the traffic going back and forth. But get them involved into what we have here. We have so much potential. I believe we're punching below our weight, because that's what we have been accustomed for many years. I believe we can do better. I know that the easy answer is sending them to Salem to other legislators, and so that kind of idea goes away. I think they should be here, they should come here, they should make us look at our goals, and we should be responsive to our community, and that's what I believe.
Getting back, I would remind you that there is a primary in May, and Eric is active in one of the parties. I am sure that you might want to read your voter's pamphlet very carefully.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that I vote in Polk County.
Right.
That's right.
So,
But, and Julie, the other question is, looking at your petition, people don't give their addresses, do they?
no, it was just an online petition, I just
So-
sort of change.org.
Right, so we don't know how many of the petitioners, signers are Parkrose residents and how many of them live in other places. What I am gonna say is that, thank you for coming. Nobody here hopefully has not listened to what you're saying and not concerned, because we are.
I do have one more comment.
Sure.
So, when I first joined the board, we had a wellness committee, and that has been not in function for the last 2 years, so maybe
You
that's.
met just a couple months ago.
We